Welcome back once again to Economics 2025-2026 batch. This is the first long video I'm saying. So this is the first chapter in macroeconomics, that is Introduction to Macroeconomics. We will be discussing about this chapter. We'll finish this entire chapter today. Keep learning chapter by chapter. It becomes so easy before you go for the board exam. You don't have to struggle with the syllabus. It becomes so easy. Just a few days back, the board economics paper was over. It was so good for those students who systematically studied throughout the year. So the same applies to you. Your academic session is going to start in a few days, maybe in the first week of April. Some schools have already announced that they are going to start their academic session from 1st of April, maybe 2nd of April, 5th of April. It makes no difference. I've already told you in the earlier video. So systematically you study throughout the year. So whatever the chapters the teachers complete in the school, try to finish them, try to learn them as quickly as you can, maybe in the weekends. So let's start with the first chapter in macroeconomics. As I told you that you have two books. One is macroeconomics. The second book is Indian economic development. Macroeconomics is more of understanding, more of logic, more of thinking. It's not ratification. It is not something you do rote learning. Without understanding, it's very difficult to learn macroeconomics. So understand. Whether you take the help of your school teachers or you take the help of any coaching center or tutors coming to your place, or you can watch my videos, they will be equally helpful to you. In case of any difficulty, you are most welcome to comment in the comment box. So whatever the difficulties, we try to solve them, all the difficulties. So very important thing is your hard work. That really pays you. Okay, let's start with this first chapter, Introductory Macroeconomics, Introduction to Macroeconomics. Last year in class 11, you studied microeconomics. This year, you are studying macroeconomics. So first chapter deals with these two things, micro and macroeconomics. It's not difficult, you learn it right now. So we go by question answer forms, it becomes much easier for you to understand. The first question is, which you learned it last year, what exactly is microeconomics? In case they ask you for one line answer, you just write, microeconomics is the study of individual economic variables. It's not the study of the economy as a whole. Microeconomics is the study of individual economic variables. What examples we give? We give few examples. Number one, microeconomics deals with a household. It deals with a firm, or maybe it deals with an industry also. So for example, to be precise, the consumption of a household, the income of a household, and the supply of a firm, the supply of any industry, that all comes under microeconomics. Your income, an individual's income is microeconomics. Your investment is microeconomics. Your consumption, your savings, your investment, a firm's investment, a firm's supply, the demand for goods, your demand. So that's all microeconomics. Don't get confused in case they ask you industry. Industries also come under microeconomics. If they ask you iron and steel industry, of course it is in microeconomics. Steel industry under microeconomics. Any industry for that matter, car industry, maybe shipbuilding industry, any industry, cement manufacturing industry, all industries will come under microeconomics. That's about microeconomics. In case they ask you one line question this year, what exactly is macroeconomics? Macroeconomics is the study of the economy as a whole, the complete economy, not individual households, economy as a whole. Macroeconomics deals with the aggregates in the economic system, aggregates, that means totals. In macroeconomics, we don't study individual demand, we study aggregate demand, that means the total demand in the economy. We don't study the income of one household, we study national income. We study GDP, gross domestic product. We study net national product. We study national income. We study NDP. We study GNP. These concepts gradually you will be learning in coming videos. We'll be studying about the budget. We'll be studying about the taxes in the economy. We will be studying about exports of the country, imports of the country, balance of trade, balance of payments. That's all in macroeconomics. It's not about individuals, not about households, not about one firm, not about one industry. It is about the whole economy. That is one line answer. What exactly is microeconomics? What exactly is macroeconomics? At times they might ask you a question, does it come under microeconomics or does it come into macroeconomics? Simple. They can ask you something like the supply of one particular firm. You just have to write it comes under microeconomics because it deals one particular firm. The supply of one car industry or in car industry, you write it, this is also part of macroeconomics. Supply of iron and steel industry, microeconomics. Supply of ship industry, microeconomics. If they ask you unemployment, it is macroeconomics, it deals with the whole economy. Overemployment, unemployment, underemployment, all macroeconomics. If they ask you taxes, where do they come? Macroeconomics. If they ask you exports of the country, imports of the country, inflation, deflation, excess demand, deficient demand, all will come under macroeconomics. Think, if it is something to do with the whole economy, it is macroeconomics. So now, these are all one line answer, 1 mark, maybe, simple. Don't ignore, because this is too simple. Now, they can ask you differentiate between micro and macroeconomics. What differences we have? So the first difference, whenever they ask you, this might come for 3 marks or 4 marks, what difference you have between micro and macroeconomics, make a table and make a comparison. Number 1, micro means small, macro means large or big. In microeconomics, second point, we deals with the individual households or firms. It deals with individual households or firms in the economy. Macroeconomics, it deals with the whole economy as a whole. It deals with the aggregates in the economic system. Third point, microeconomics is called price theory. Macroeconomics is called income and employment theory. Because in microeconomics last year you must have seen how the price of commodities determine equilibrium price, the cost of a firm, revenue of a firm, demand, supply. That's all microeconomics. You learned it. I'm sure you are a master of it because you passed class 11 and you come to class 12. Macroeconomics does not deal with the demand of a consumer, aggregate demand, aggregate supply, national income. Macroeconomics is called income and employment theory. In macroeconomics, basically it deals how to get maximum national income, how to get employment in the economy. Microeconomics basically deals with the allocation of resources, how we allocate resources. Macroeconomics deals with the growth of resources, how we can grow the economy, how we can increase the GDP and all. And few examples. I go off the screen and I read out. Now see here. Differentiate between micro and macroeconomics. Take a screenshot of this and learn. First point, microeconomics deals with the behavior of individual economic units or variables. Macroeconomics is the study of the economy as a whole. Second point, it deals with the economic activities of an individual, a firm or an industry. Macroeconomics deals with aggregates like aggregate demand, aggregate consumption, national income, etc. Demand and supply are the main tools of analysis in microeconomics. Aggregate demand and aggregate supply are the main tools of analysis in macroeconomics. Fourth point, it is called price theory, microeconomics, because here we are concerned with the determination of equilibrium level of prices of goods and services. It is called income and employment theory, macroeconomics, because It is concerned with the determination of equilibrium level of output, employment and income for the economy. So these things you'll be later learning them in detail. The last point, microeconomics explains how resources are allocated among various goods and services and national income is distributed in the economy. Macroeconomics explains how productive capacity and national income of the country increases over time. And there is one small question that came in the boards once, a long time back, 2006. Why is the study of a problem of unemployment in India considered a macroeconomic study? Simple answer, because it is the study of the problem of the economy as a whole. So this is the difference between micro and macroeconomics. Now you have some small questions, one or two small things. Why do we have to study macroeconomics when we learned micro so thoroughly in class 11? So the simple answer is, what is true at the micro level may not be true at the macro level. It's always not true. What is true at the micro level may not be true at the macro level. For example, saving is a good habit. You must have heard it, save for a rainy day. But if all the people in the economy save, it is quite dangerous. It is not true, because no investments will be there in the economy. Just save and keep it at home. You are not investing it. That's bad. So what is, you just have to write, why do we have to study macroeconomics? What is true at the micro level may not be true at the macro level. Next, last question. How micro depends on macro, macro depends on macro. Microeconomics and macroeconomics are interrelated subjects. They are not totally independent. Micro depends on macro, macroeconomics depends on micro. How do they depend it? For example, we'll take one, we'll explain it with the help of a simple example. Taxation is a macro subject. It comes under macroeconomics. You will be learning later after a couple of months. So taxation is a macroeconomics. If the government imposes too many taxes on the people, at the micro level, the disposable income of the people will come down, their income will come down. Hence the demand for goods will come down. So macro is affecting micro. If the government imposing more taxes, then the disposable income, the income of the people will come down. It's affecting micro. How does micro affect macro? I just told you, if individuals are saving more and more and more, so obviously the total savings in the economy will keep on increasing at the macro level. I hope it's clear, macroeconomics and macro. So the first chapter is over. Congratulations. In this chapter, you just have to learn what exactly is microeconomics, what is macroeconomics, a few examples of microeconomics and macroeconomics, differentiate between micro and macroeconomics. Why do we have to study macroeconomics? What is the interrelationship between micro and macroeconomics? In case of confusion, always think, does it deal with the whole economy? Then it is macro. If it is dealing with individual households or firms, it is macroeconomics. That's all we have time for this video. Please share with your friends, subscribe, like our videos. Definitely write it in the comments. How do you find the videos? In case you need any help in any topic, do comment. We'll try to answer it. So definitely get in touch with us. Till we meet next time, all the best. But one last thing, it's a beginning of the academic session. Plan your studies, strategize, streamline. It's going to help you. Instead of making the 11th last hour sometime in Jan-Feb, it becomes too late for your pre-boards. Now you have 1 year. In 1 year you can do wonders. 1 year is more than enough to score 100%, 100 marks in any subject. So plan accordingly. No one can stop you from doing best in your board exams. All the best. Wait for my next video. Till that time, goodbye and keep smiling. Bye-bye, guys.